Morning everybody, myself and Dan out this morning. We are up by the river. We've just gotten word that there's a male lion calling and heading in an easterly direction. We've just come into the area now and we've picked up the tracks. So we're busy following the tracks now and hopefully we'll get him pretty soon. So yeah, welcome to another episode. So unfortunately we've spent quite a bit of time now trying to track that male lion. Unfortunately unsuccessful. He's crossed off of our concession, so not much we can do there. So we're going to carry on and hopefully bump into something else this morning. Right after a pretty quiet morning so far, luckily we got a call from our neighbours from Guinea. On their way to the lodge, they just found this young male cheetah on a kill. So yeah, super lucky. We've managed to catch up with him, and here he is under the shade, enjoying the last bits of his meal. We're not 100% sure of which cheetah it is. It's not our normal resident male down in the south. He's probably a 2.5 to 3 year old cheetah, I'm gonna guess. And there were, when was it, last year, there was 2 youngsters that came in, also around 2 years old. They came in actually from a reserve much further north and into here. It's a brother and a sister, so potentially it could be the brother of that pair. We've seen him a couple of times over the last sort of 6-7 months, so it's nice to see him back on the property, and hopefully he sticks around for a few days, and otherwise let's enjoy him for today. So you'll notice him breathing pretty quickly there. Cheetah, being on the lower or the weaker end of the big predators, needs to try and eat as quickly as he can before getting disturbed by other predators, or hyenas. Vultures starting to circle will make him nervous and attract lions or leopards, like we saw last week with Ravenscourt coming into that kill by the vultures. He needs to eat as quickly as he can to try and get as much out of that kill as possible before it can potentially get stolen from him. So the reason he's breathing like that is because he's absolutely stuffed himself as quick as he can, and there is no more space for his lungs to really open up properly. So that's why you see him breathing, to try and compensate for the lack of space there. You'll notice when he's feeding as well, he keeps looking up and looking around. So again, because he's on the lower end of the big predators, he's quite nervous of what might be approaching. So it's certainly right at the beginning, he'd be a lot more nervous. He's a little bit more relaxed now, but he's still got to keep checking and making sure no one's coming in to steal his food. Alright folks, I think that's where we're going to leave him, and that's where we're going to leave the morning as well. Maybe try again, get him this afternoon. But yeah, what a great start to the day, and we'll hope it continues this afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Back at it again this afternoon with Dan. Just come across a small little group of elephant bulls known as an askari. Yeah, just a bunch of boys hanging out, feeding on a nice warm winter afternoon. So usually in these groups of bulls, there's at least one really big, most of the time, at least one really big bull in the group, and he's almost the kind of mentor that the youngsters follow, and they'll learn from him where to find the good food, how to behave, and he'll sort of put them back into their place, a bit of discipline. So it's a very, very important part of an elephant bull's life to be associated with these groups from time to time. Those of you who've had the pleasure of spending a bit of time with some elephants will know the absolutely amazing sort of intelligence of these animals, that emotional intelligence, the way they interact with each other, their family orientation. So even amongst the boys, this kind of tactile and playful interaction is so important for them. You see, these animals have so much interaction with vehicles in these parts of the world, so for him to be so close like that and allowing him to decide to come into our sort of bubble or comfort zone is much more comfortable for him. If we try to break into his, he'd let us know. So allowing him to come into our comfort zone, getting up nice and close, that's his choice. He's chosen to do that. And so you can actually see he's still feeding. There's no aggression, he's absolutely happy with us being here. It's a beautiful elephant bull there. I reckon anywhere mid to late 40s. Absolutely amazing tusk on the one side. Unfortunately, he seems to have snapped the other one off at some point. As these animals get older, that their ivory gets a lot more brittle, and so with time and with these elephants fighting and using their tusks for digging in trees and digging in the ground, and they're so versatile, but they can weaken and break off, as is the case with this guy. Like Ali explained in one of our previous episodes, that the elephant feeds by rolling the branch over its teeth, stripping off that outer layer of bark to get the most nutritious part of that branch, rather than crunching away at everything and just wasting their teeth away. So rather just grind off that outer layer, like a corn on the cob. And he'll just use his tongue to help move it along. So good news, it seems like we found a new hyena den way up in the northern part of the concession. Quite exciting. You can see, like the other hyena den, they're making use of an old termite mound, a dormant termite mound. The hole would originally been dug by an aardvark, and then those holes get taken over by warthogs, hyenas, jackals, whoever pretty much wants to live in there. So that's pretty cool. So we'll definitely come around here in the next couple of weeks, or as time goes by, and see if any little cubs. A very skittish, very nervous female just popped out of the hole there. I assume probably very young cubs in there. Yeah, well, definitely something to look forward to and something to check up on in the future. Well, this is pretty cute. There's about 50 guinea fowl cruising along the road here. They are definitely getting ready to go and roost now, so probably heading, probably just come from having a drink at the little waterhole just up ahead, and yeah, heading over to fly up into some trees and get ready for a good night's sleep. So if you look closely there, you can see there's quite a lot of adults. So the adults have got the color, that blue coloration on the head, and the red crest, where the juveniles, so that's probably why these flocks are so big at the moment, is the juveniles haven't left. They're still around, so you can see they're completely grey. They don't have that color yet. Yeah, so quite special to see them still hanging around. Guinea fowl are mostly a terrestrial bird, which means they spend most of the time on the ground, scratching around looking for seeds and termites and those things to eat, but they do sleep up in a tree at night, just a little bit safer for them. Well folks, I think we're going to call it a day. Another great day out here at Savanna. A few cool things, some nice ellies and that cheetah a little bit earlier. So yeah, all in all a great day. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you next time. Stay safe, stay at home, and stay positive.